السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. Azadalani Imam Hussein. The day of Ashura was one of the most difficult days for the awlad of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhim salam. The day of Ashura was very difficult for Zainab and Kulthum. The day of Ashura was very difficult for Sakina and the children in the tents of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The day of Ashura was very difficult for Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Azadaro, when the Munadi said, Ala qad qutila al-Husayn bi Karbala. Ala qad dhubiha al-Husayn bi Karbala. Hussein has been martyred. Hussein has been slaughtered in Karbala. When the dust settled a bit, Umar ibn Sa'd commanded his soldiers to start trampling the bodies of the shuhada under the hooves of the horses. Azadar and Imam Hussein, when this command came, the people from the tribe of Hur came forward and unsheathed their swords, and they said, if anyone tramples the body of Hur, there will be another war in Karbala. The people of the tribe of Hur took Hur away from the plains of Karbala. Every relative came and took, or a tribesman came and took the body of one of their shuhada. Everybody was gone, but the body of the son of Zahra remained there. There was nobody to claim the body. Azadar Imam Hussein. Umar ibn Sa'd commanded the body be trampled under the hooves of the horses. Ya Allah, the son of Zahra's body was trampled under the hooves of the horses to the extent that they broke the ribs of Abu Abdullah. Azadar Imam Hussein alayhi salam, when the body of Imam was trampled under the hooves of the horses, Saniya Zahra, Zainab, she was until Zainabiyya. She was trying to look for her brother. She did not know what to do. The command of Imam was for her not to come towards Maqtal. She did not know what to do. She was running from one place to the other to look for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When she could not find him, in a state of trauma, she went to the tent of Imam Zainul Abidin. She woke him up and said, Sajjad, Sajjad, Qayamat has come, Sajjad, Sajjad, wake up. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam came with her. She supported Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. He came forward. He said, come and see what has happened to your father, beta. Tell me what is happening to your father. You are the Imam of the time. Allahu Akbar. Imam Zainul Abidin comes with Janab Zainab alayhi salam. He lifts the flap of the tent. He looked towards the right. He looked towards the left. He did not see anything. Then he looked ahead of him. May Allah not show any son. The state of his father, the way Imam Zainul Abidin saw this, he sees ahead of him on a spearhead the head of his father, Abu Abdullah Hussein. He says, Baba, assalamu alayka, ya Abu Abdullah. He says, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Imam realized that he is the Imam and the responsibility of the Imama is upon him. Azadara Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Janab Imam Zainul Abidin started to cry. Janab Zainab settled him down. Azadaro. Then the hukum from Umar ibn Sa'ad came that the tents be looted and plundered. Azadaro, the tents were not only looted and plundered, but they put fire to the tents. Janab Zainab and Kulthum were moving women and children from one tent to the other, from one tent to the other, until all the tents were burned. Janab Zainab then entered the tent of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam and said, Sayyid Sajjad, my son, wake up, my son. Oh, my dear child, Sayyid Sajjad, you are the Imam of the time. Tell us, Sayyid Sajjad, what do we do? Shall we remain in these tents and get burned, or should we walk out of these tents without veils? Imam Sajjad says, Oh aunt, walk out of these tents. For the first time when Zainab placed her foot outside the plains of Karbala, after the veils were snatched away from them, she said, Wah hijaba, wah hijaba, wah hijaba. Azadaran Imam Hussein, Janab Zainab alayhi salam, and the children left the tents. The Imam Sajjad remained in the tents. Hamid ibn Muslim says, when the tents were burning, I saw a lady. She was going inside the burning tent and then coming out again as if she was looking for something very precious inside. She went towards the inside the tent which was burning and came out. I came to the lady and I said to her, Oh noble lady, what is it that you are looking for in the tent? She said, It is my son Sajjad. My son Sajjad is in the tent. And then Hamid ibn Muslim says, I saw this brave lady walk inside and take Imam Sajjad outside. Azadaran Imam Hussein alayhi salam, she brought Imam Sajjad. We are indebted to Janab Zainab. We are indebted to Janab Zainab that she saved Imama. She put her life for the sake of Imama. She protected the Imamat. We are indebted to Saniya Zahra, Zainab Salamullahi alayha, Azadaran Imam Hussein. Imam alayhi salatu wassalam, then settled down together with Janab Zainab, and suddenly Janab Zainab started counting the children and the ladies. The chaos of that day of Ashura of Shaame Ghareeba, Janab Zainab started looking. She started looking for the children and the ladies. She started counting each and every one of them. In her horror, she realized Sakina was missing. She and Janab Kulthum left the tents looking for Sakina in the plains of Karbala. They could not find Sakina. Janab Zainab came to Furat. She looked at Abbas and said, Abbas, did Sakina come to you, Abbas? Abbas, we cannot find Sakina. Azadaro, and there was no response. She moved from one place to the other. As she approached the Nasheb, she heard a voice saying, Zainab, speak quietly, Zainab. Zainab, don't speak loudly. Sakina is sleeping on my chest. Janab Zainab came towards the body which called her. She realized the body had no head. Sakina was sleeping on the chest of the body. She said, Oh Sakina, the girls of Ahlul Bayt do not sleep outside at night. My daughter Sakina, better Sakina, come home with me. She took Sakina, held her to the chest, and then she said to Sakina, how did you know this is the body of your father, Sakina? How did you realize this is the body of your father, Sakina? She said, Bhupi Amma, as I was running looking for my father, I wanted to tell my father of what had happened. I wanted to express my grief to my father. When I was coming and running towards this area, this body called upon me saying, Ilayya, come Sakina, come to me. I realized this was the body of my father. I came and lay my head on the chest of my father. Hazrat Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, Janab Zainab took Sakina and took her back to the camps, took her back to the tents. Hazrat Imam Hussein, Arbab Maqatil say, in the middle of the night, she saw a flickering light approaching. Janab Zainab saw a flickering light approaching her. Janab Zainab saw that the wife of Hur's wife had come. She had brought some tabarrukat and she had brought some water. When Janab Zainab saw water, only Allah knows what went through the heart of Zainab. It was because of this water that Asghar had to go to the battlefield. It was because of this water that Abbas lost his life. It was because of this water that Hussein and Sakina separated from each other. When she looked at the water, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what went through Janab Zainab's heart. Azadaran Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Then the Maqtal says, Janab Zainab took the water, placed it by her side, and she told the wife of her to sit in front of her. She sat in front of her, and then Janab Zainab said something which will break your heart, and you will weep on what the Janab Zainab says. Janab Zainab says to the wife of her, she says, I give you condolences on the loss of her. Oh my Allah. Even if Janab Hur's wife wants to give condolence to Zainab, whose condolence should she give? Of Hussein, of Abbas, of Akbar, of Qasim? Then Janabe Zainab alayhi salam took some water and rushed into the tent, and she woke Sakina. Beta Sakina, some water has come. My child, drink some water. The little girl, having just slept, traumatized completely, wakes up, looks at her aunt Zainab in shock. She looks at her aunt Zainab. She doesn't know what is happening. Janabe Zainab said, Sakina, some water has come. The little girl looks at Janab Zainab, and says, Hupi Amma, why are you giving me this water? You too have been thirsty for all this time. Why don't you drink some water first? Janab Zainab says, Sakina, the youngest in the house, is given priority. Sakina. Sakina takes the glass of water, rushes towards the Maqtal. Zainab says, Sakina, where are you going? She says, my Asghar is too thirsty. My Asghar is also thirsty. I am going to give water to my Asghar. Azadar Zainab brought Janab Sakina back, and then she settled Janab Sakina down. Allahu Akbar. In the middle of the night, Janab Zainab takes a broken spear in her hand, and she starts protecting the burnt out tents and the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. She sometimes looks at Furat and says, Abbas, Zainab is alone. She looks at Akbar, she looks towards Akbar and says, my dear child Akbar, your aunt Zainab is left alone. Your sister and your aunts are all left alone. The women in the house of Ahlul Bayt have no man left to eat with them. Oh Hussein, oh my master Hussein, where are you, my dear brother Hussein? She starts protecting and looks and patrolling the tents, and she says, I will not allow any harm to come to anyone after Hussein. I Zainab, am the protector of these tents. Azadar and Imam Hussein, you know, in the realm of spirituality, in that particular realm, those people who have arrived the highest status of spirituality, of spiritual status, they are able to see things that ordinary people are not able to see. Janab Zainab in the middle of the night sees a mukashafa. She sees something and sees a vision. In this vision she sees that some horseman is approaching her. He This horseman is coming closer and closer. He is coming closer and closer. The daughter of Ali ibn Abi Talib became angry and enraged and said, "Oh son, oh the one who is approaching, if you want to loot the tents, come tomorrow. There is nothing left in the tents anymore. The children have just fallen asleep. Do not approach any further." But the man on the horse, veil on his face, kept approaching further and further. Janab Zainab says, "Please stop. I am the daughter of Haydar Karrar. I will not allow anyone to touch anyone in this tent. Please retreat. Please go back." The man on the horse kept coming slowly and slowly. At some point, Janab Zainab went, held on to the reins of this horseman and said, "Oh horseman, Wallah, if you do not stop, I will call my father Ali ibn Abi Talib from Najaf. I am the daughter of Haydar Karrar, Azadar and Imam Hussein." The man with the veil lifted the veil. It was Ali ibn Abi Talib. He said to Janab Zainab, "Zainab, I am Ali. I am here to protect you. I am your Baba." Bas Azadar and Imam Hussein. Zainab held on to the feet of Amirul Mu'mineen. She said, "Baba, Baba, where were you, Baba? When Abbas lost his arms, Baba. Baba, where were you? When Hussein had to take the blood of Asghar in his hands. Baba, where were you? When the blade needed to be taken out of the chest of Ali Akbar." الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه